Welcome to The Big Gamer. Peter has $866. He buys a PS4 for $345. He uses the remaining money to buy 10 video games. How much did each video game cost? So I'm going to grab my red pen and I am going to circle my numbers with the units. So these are in dollars. And the 10 is referring to video games. Now I'm going to use my yellow, underline my question, and then my blue to box in my action words. So buy something means he's spending money. This is what he has. He uses the remaining money, that's his change, and he's going to buy video games. And then how much did each, there's that word each again, which tells me I'm going to have some multiplication or division going on. So now take a minute to estimate. How much do you think each video game can cost? Now your estimate could be using these numbers and really thinking about the math. You could also, if you have any knowledge of video games, you could have an estimate of what a video game might cost. So if you get an answer of $45,000, you might want to rethink your answer. Try to visualize what's going on in the problem and write down an estimate. Here is a visual in case you need it. We've got our PS4, here's our price tag, and then the remaining money is going to be spent on these 10 video games. So let's start with our first step. Peter has $866. He buys a PS4 for $345. So here's our money, and yes, it's $866. And here is the PS4, and there's the price tag. So I am going to take $345 away. 1, 2, 300, 20, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how much I spent on this game system. Now I have this much money left to spend on my games. So here's the money I have left to spend on my games. There are my 10 games. So we are going to figure out how much each game costs. So I'm going to take this money and I'm going to divide it into 10 groups for each game. So I'm going to start with my 20s, and I'm just going to take this money and I'm going to divide it into each game. Then I'm going to take my ones and I'm going to split it into each game. Now I know that because there are 10 games, I know I'm not going to get an even dollar amount. That's why I have these nickels over here. So I'm not going to do each dollar because I really want you to determine how much money it's going to cost, but I want you to see how I'm taking my total amount of money and I'm splitting it between the 10 games. And I will do the same thing with my dimes. Okay. So you figure out how much each game will cost. Now take the answer that you got and make sure that it makes sense. Similar to what I said about the estimate, it has to be accurate. If you're coming up with a $2.48 video game for PS4, it's probably a little low. If you're coming up with $2,823, that's way too high for a video game. We want to make sure we're answering the question being asked. If it says how much does each video game cost, our answer should be in money, not our label shouldn't be video games. Now compare your answer to your estimate. Is it reasonable?